Hey, we're at Todd's house. Say hi, Todd.
Hey, Todd.
We're live on YouTube,
Oh man, live.
live and in person, and we're standing in the front of Rat Rod's Todd. I mean Todd's Rat Rod. Actually, let me see if I can turn this camera around. I'm sure there's a button on here that if I push it, there you are. Oh, look, my shadow's on your shirt. It looks like I'm a ghost. Uh, Look at that cool looking 33 Studebaker front axle under that Mini Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And we're live at Todd's house today, and we're talking about building a frame, and he's got room inside these old frame rails here to run. Basically, you could run like a 2x4 piece of steel all the way from front to back, come right out here, hang your axle in front of that, put that little pretty 350 Chevy engine in there. You could cut this crap off right here.
Oh, that's coming off.
And oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, that's coming off.
No,
Roof's coming off.
I'm gonna crawl on the ground. I'm gonna crawl on the ground. You don't mind if I crawl on the ground?
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Okay.
Don't knock yourself out.
So here's his old spring pockets right here. What is this telling me? Orientation is locked. Rotate the device. Okay, here's his old spring pockets right here, and here's the frame channel that I was talking about. If you go from here to up yonder, so he could come out of here and come up. He could. I'm not even gonna say what you could do because I don't want you to do what I'm thinking because I want you to do what you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, you can save anyway, because just because you save doesn't mean I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I've been saying I'm chopping the roof off for what, weeks now.
Yeah.
Might not do it. I don't know.
So what's the what's your thinking on chopping the roof off or not?
It's a hot rod. You don't need a roof on a hot rod.
Unless it's raining.
I'm not going to drive a hot rod. The thing is, it's only going to weigh like 1,500 pounds with a 350 in it. If there's water on the road, I'm probably not going to want to drive it.
I think roof or no roof is entirely your decision.
Yeah.
You know, you get to decide that.
Yeah. No, and I am.
In fact,
obviously, I think that's a lot of what this bracing is for.
Yeah.
In case I got my B and my C pillar, then I want to make sure the frame just doesn't fall apart.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, the roof's probably coming off.
You can have doors that open, right?
That's the goal.
Okay.
So the doors are still functional.
Yeah.
And that's why all the bracing's in there, is if I chop the roof, I still want the doors to function.
Yeah.
So that's my one thing of not chopping the roof,
Yeah.
because I'm scared the doors won't work if I chop the roof. So I think I have enough bracing in there, so we'll see what happens.
Well, you're gonna have a lot more once you get that frame rail
Yeah.
in there, under there or on there, or however you tie it all together. Huh.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking, you're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking, which is
So-
how this is all gonna work, but, yeah, okay.
If the roof is gone, this is covered over.
Yeah, right.
Covered over,
Yeah,
gas tank sitting there,
yeah,
or right here, either one.
right.
And then one of the other little storage area for
Yeah,
picnic basket or
Yeah.
whatever.
well, basically, once you take the roof off, it's gonna be like a bucket, which is
It
what
It's
they
kinda like a
are.
European bucket.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some, and they look good. I mean, I've seen
So-
some of this kind of car chopped
That's
down.
kind of what I was going for.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, takes a 30-something Ford or whatever, and chops the pillars, drops the roof down, makes it into a rat rod. So I was thinking when at least I had the accident, I'm like, well, I can do like a European meets American type
Right,
rat rod.
right. You do your own thing.
Yeah,
Well, that's what rat rodism is all about. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited that front end is here.
You know, we need to mock it up. I don't know if you want to actually do steel or get a bunch of 2x4s, but we need to like get it set right, set the engine here, set the axle out here, or something. Of course, don't let me change your direction, but I want to see it. Of course, you don't have the tires yet, so
No, I don't.
I got some wheels and tires. I got those chrome smoothies. I'm not sure how good the rubber is all the way around. It was running on my car.
Yeah.
So it's probably not horrible, but even just to have something to sit here, I thought about bringing you some, but like I had a couple of old white flat Ford 15s that didn't look very good, and a couple. I thought he don't want that on the car, but
I've been looking at rallies, just running rallies on it.
yeah.
So
Well, if you want to come down and get those, or if you want to, I told Honey Baby, I said we could probably fit them all in the back of the car. She said, "How are you going to fit all that in the dogs in the car and everything?" I said, "Oh, we can make it work." You know, when we come back, like do a
Yeah.
return trip and drop off some tires and stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. We're definitely gonna mock it up. I don't know when. Like I said, I don't have the tires for yet. I don't even have studs in the rear end or anything yet. So.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm super excited.
I am too.
So now it's down to the frame. Got to do. That's the next thing is doing the frame.
You got steel for it yet?
No.
Okay.
I've been looking. There's some places that deliver, and they seem kind of pricey to me.
Yeah.
So there's a place up in Richmond that I'm going to go to, or I'm going to call this week.
Yeah.
But they're only open Monday through Friday. So for a guy like myself, that's kind of an issue
Yeah.
because they're not open on Saturday.
Yeah, you don't have to take a day off to go get stuff.
So
Have you thought about mocking it up with 2x4s? I noticed Dale did that on his. He's on one of his videos, and
I saw that.
you know 2x4s are pretty cheap. You could
Yeah.
you could do that. You could set it all up and get the look you want with some 2x4s, and then what's left over you could take out here and nail up a scarecrow in the yard for Halloween or something like that. You know.
I thought about it. So I did. I thought about it, but I mean, space is obviously premium here in this garage. I don't have.
Well,
a
it
lot.
is. Yeah.
So whether or not some of the welding obviously is going to have to be done away from the car.
Right.
But I can imagine that there's going to be some that I'll have to raise it back up again so I can get underneath and actually do some welding underneath the car too,
Yeah.
as I put the frame together. So I don't think it's going to be a traditional build a frame, drop the body on top of it type build.
Yeah.
So I do like that idea of
Yeah.
running it right to that channel right there.
One of the things I don't want to say too much because people on YouTube are listening and they'll say you're an idiot. But, you know, one of the things you're going to want to do is to make sure you've tied the body well to the car, and maybe instead of running it through the frame, just chop the bottom off of there. Build the thing so that you can build it and then drop it on it and then connect everything. Because that little piece of tiny, thin metal on the bottom, it ain't going to matter a hill of beans once you've got a real piece of big solid steel in there. So you could just cut everything off so that you can still drop it on there, but save the floor, keep the integrity of the floor. Which anytime you build a car on a homemade frame, you know, getting the floor to be right is not as easy as everybody thinks. And you know, you've already got a really well designed front floor with an awful lot of strength in it. So
And one of the things that I did was I kept the seats. So it's my goal to put the seats back in.
right, absolutely, that's perfect. And you're talking about taking the top off. See, there's a lot of metal below the door. See how that is in there?
Yep.
And plus, if you had a frame that ran kind of channeled, of course it's going to be channeled, but I mean, if you had it framed literally over that old frame section there, be fun to take a grinder and just rip the bottom off one of those and look up in there and see what's in there, wouldn't it? But yeah, you could kind of mimic the basic frame of this thing, but build a real one out of steel and hang a Chevy motor on one end of it. And this is by the way, this is a 411 rear end out of an S10, 10-bolt Chevy rear end here. Oh, the joy.
Yeah. So, but that's the frame is the goal, and frame and suspension. Once I get the chassis done, start working on this guy over here again, which is the engine. You all can't see, it's over there.
It's behind you.
I still got some work to do on that.
Uh-huh.
But I kind of want to get this so it's a roller first. Once it's a roller,
Uh-huh.
then start working on the engine. So looked at 350 transmission the other day. Almost pulled the trigger on it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite ready for it. So
All right.
might be a better deal come along.
Right. Well, with a 411 rear end and a 350 transmission, now you're going to be wound up tight going down the road doing 50 miles an hour. You know that,
Think
don't you? Absolutely. The 400 gives you an extra overdrive gear, but it's still pretty tight. But you may want to consider you know, getting a different gear ratio in the rear end. The thing about something small and light with this, like my rat rod,
Yeah.
it's probably got, it's a big old Ford car rear end. So it's probably something like a 260,
Okay.
but it doesn't weigh anything. So I mean, you can light the tires up plenty.
Yeah.
You don't need a low gear to light the tire up. And the nice thing about having a steep rear end and a lot of horsepower is you've got the whole jump factor. Like you can make it sit in one spot and burn the tires. And like every boy on YouTube is sitting in one spot and burning the tires. But if you got one that when you rump it, it kind of leaps over whatever's in front of it. I mean, to me, that's fun. When I was a kid, I had a pickup truck with a 430 Lincoln engine in it, which had enough torque to pull a building down. And I had a rear end out of a 55 Ford station wagon, which is probably like a 2-something. Big Daddy's on here. He could probably tell you the gears, but man, that thing would pull the wheels off the ground. I mean, I'd go up to Dairy Queen and they had them speed bumps and I'd rump it, and it had the front end that was the same kind of axle as this, you know, and it bounced right over the little speed bumps, you know. And, oh, it was fun. Wicked fun.
Yeah.
But you get to decide. And that's what I love about this is you absolutely get to decide what you want, how you want it to be.
Yeah, then you know the deal. And if
I know
like
the
that, then I'll
deal.
just drop it and
If you don't like it,
get
you
something else
stick
and put
something else in there. You
there.
absolutely can. And another thing about those later model Camaros that had these types of rear ends, they're not real wide either.
No.
So if you should run across another one there's a lot of, Chevy made a lot of smaller cars and put the 10-bolt rear ends in them. So, I mean, you should be able to find plenty of them out there.
I've seen one that they're saying it came out of an El Camino.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it's just a Malibu,
Uh-huh.
really. So
Right.
I was looking at that one too, but this one was next to nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like,
Sure.
yeah. I mean, if nothing else, go up to the storage area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
All right, I'm gonna cut the camera off.
all right now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna end this if I can figure out how.